that she may not actually be that person. Her family literally just got in contact with me within the last hour, and so everything's kind of coming together really quick. And I'd like to be able to put forth a little bit more if the court would allow me. I've never asked for a continuance at first appearance before, but would make that request of the court today.
Yes, sir. So yeah, we'll grant that request, and I'll just let the deputies at the jail know once they're able to be on here. Oh, we have some action.
Judge, good morning. I'm actually on the female side. It's the male side that's held up. So I have Miss Collins here. Actually, I have all the females ready. Did you want to?
Yeah, if you can bring her on up, and then we'll do the females after while we wait for. All right, Mr.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, Ms. Collins, good morning, ma'am. This is Magistrate Court of Clayton County. Judge Knight's here. It's July 13th. And you're here actually on for an extradition matter here, as fugitive from justice warrant on with the first appearance. Mr. Tom Florio, if you can see him, he's counsel here that your family has hired. Do you see Mr. Florio here?
Yes, I can.
All right, ma'am. And Mr. Florio has asked for a continuance of your matter to see if it can potentially be resolved or if there's some type of identity fraud situation here. Mr. Florio, if you wanna just chat with her briefly, if you need to, for a moment here.
Good morning, ma'am. Your mom and dad are here, and I understand that you may be the victim of identity fraud. And so we've talked to local counsel in Florida, and we're working to try to figure out this warrant. And so I've requested the Honorable Judge Knight to reset us to tomorrow morning's calendar to allow us 24 hours to try to do as much investigation as we can. I'll be to the jail to see you face to face in a little while. I just wanted to obviously let you know this morning so that you knew what was happening. And I believe the Honorable Judge Knight has been kind enough to give us that 24-hour period to see if there's any way that we can resolve some of these issues to hopefully move towards your release as quickly as possible.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
All right, thank you, Mr.
Your Honor,
Florio.
for that.
Yes, sir. Miss Collins, so you'll be on, you'll remain there, of course, until tomorrow morning. You'll be back on at 11 a.m. And hopefully, Mr. Florio, your attorney may be able to resolve it before then, but if not, you'll stand by. So that will be all, unless there's any questions from you, Ms. Collins, or you, Mr. Florio.
No, sir, Your Honor. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, thank you, sir. Ms. Florio, good to see you. Ms. Collins, good luck to you, ma'am. See you next time.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
Your Honor, that concludes my business before the court. May I be excused?
Yes, sir. Good to see you. We'll see you soon.
Good to see you, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, Deputy, what's your name there, ma'am?
Oliver, sir.
Oliver?
Yes, sir.
All right, yes, ma'am. So I'll go ahead and do the females.
All right, ladies, stand up.
We'll be on standby, and Mr. Fry will just be on hold.
Yes, sir.
Back this way. Stand here. So I swear y'all will.
All right. Good morning, everyone. Ladies, this is July 13th, 2021's Magistrate Court of Clayton County. Judge Knight's here presiding on the first appearance calendar. This morning, I'm going to inform you of certain things. I'll inform you of what you're charged with, what your your next court appearance, which will be a preliminary hearing date, is. I'll also inform you of your bond amount, if you're entitled to a bond, as well as, most importantly, your constitutional rights that remain with you throughout the proceedings from the time you're arrested all the way through the disposition of your matters. Most importantly, today, I want to let you know you have constitutional rights that never go away. You have the presumption of innocence until the state, which is the district attorney for felonies or the solicitor general for misdemeanors, prove any charge or charges against you beyond a reasonable doubt. That is their burden, and their burden alone. You don't have to present anything if you choose not to. You have the right to an indictment by grand jury for felonies or an accusation for misdemeanors. The indictment is for major felonies, and the district attorney will bring that formal charging document to the grand jurors, which are citizens there in Clayton County, and present your charge or charges to the grand jurors. If they come back with a true bill of indictment, that your case will continue forward. If there's a no bill, then your case can be dismissed at that time, or will be dismissed at that time. For other not as serious felonies and for all misdemeanors, you have the right to an accusation, which again is a charging document, and the district attorney brings it, of course, for felonies, and the solicitor general for misdemeanors. You have the right to a speedy and public trial. You have the right to see, hear, and cross-examine any witnesses to the state can call to testify against you. You have the right to compel the attendance of witnesses on your own behalf through a subpoena, which is a document that you can send or serve someone, and they have to appear to testify before the court. Some of you believe there may be one or two of you who may not get a bond today. That doesn't mean that you'll never get a bond on this matter. It just means that today I cannot give you a bond. Keep in mind that this is the magistrate court, and by law, magistrate court judges cannot give a bond on certain offenses by law. Also, other factors that could come into play can be your criminal background or history, as well as the nature of the offenses and other factors such as being a flight risk. Those things can be taken into consideration today. However, you can get a bond at a later date. There's a bond calendar set for September 3rd, 2021. If you don't get a bond today, and again, doesn't mean that you have to wait until September 3rd. It simply means that today there's no bond. At a later date, your attorney can discuss with the district attorney about bond, and you can do this before that September 3rd date. Also, if you're posting a bond or there's a bond, you do have bond in this situation here on this charge or these charges, and you go through a bonding company, the bonding company charges a fee, a certain percentage. It could be 15%, it could be less. Please verify with the bonding company. I don't want to speculate on what the bonding company's fee would be. So the best person or people to speak with would be someone at the bonding company. Generally, if there's some type of property, there has to be equity in the property of up to 3 times. So for example, if the bond is 1,000, the equity in the property can be up to 3,000. And again, this is general information on bond. Please verify with the bonding company once you speak with a representative. Some of you may have a special condition on bond. Special conditions mean that you cannot contact someone or you cannot go somewhere. If I say don't go to 123 Main Street, you can't go there. Don't contact Joe Smith, you can't contact Joe Smith. If, for example, someone wants to post your bond and that person is the subject of the special condition, you cannot, or that person cannot post your bond at this time. So keep those things in mind, and I will inform you at the appropriate time when I speak with you individually if there's special conditions or not. Failure to comply with special conditions of bond can result in additional criminal charges such as aggravated stalking or influencing a witness or other charges. So keep that in mind as well. Also, just to let you know, your next court date is your preliminary hearing or probable cause hearing. Prelim, as it's also referred to. The preliminary hearing or probable cause hearing is simply a hearing that will happen where the officer or officers who arrested you may appear, and they will have to inform the judge the valid, the articulable reason. They have to state why was this arrest made. It has to be a valid legal reason that the court can consider. And if there is a valid reason and there's probable cause for your arrest, then your case will be bound over or sent to Superior Court if there's at least one felony, or State Court if they're all misdemeanor offenses. If there's no probable cause or valid reason for your arrest, the matter can be dismissed. So for misdemeanors, that date is August 30th at 8:30. For felonies, that date is August 31st at 8:30. Now, again, if you bond out of jail, make bond before that date is automatically waived. If you wish to waive that date today, you can also let me know. But it doesn't mean, waiving doesn't mean that you're giving up your presumption of innocence. It simply means you're saying, I don't want to go forward with that particular hearing. I want to go straight to state or superior court and deal with my matter at that point. If you bond out, it's automatically waived. If you wish to have that date, you can speak with your attorney to see if you can still have that prelim at a later time, even if you bond out. So those will be the initial things the housekeeping matters I wish to relate to you. I will call you individually and let you know your charge or charges, your bond amount if you're entitled to a bond or can get a bond today, your preliminary hearing date, and I'll also go over with you if you qualify for a court-appointed attorney, as you have that right to counsel in every state. Each of you raise your right hand for me, please. Solemnly swear or affirm statements of testimony you will give in this matter not pending before the court shall be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth shall be God.
Yes.
All right, we're ready to begin. Deputy Oliver, stand by for me.
You can chill right there. Let's see, Miss Collins is already gone, so the next up is gonna be you now. Then you're gonna be next, is that right?
All right, good morning. What's your name?
Good morning, Yvonne DeSola.
All right, Mr. Sola, ma'am, you have one count of violation of the Georgia Controlled Substances Act, and that is possession of THC oil. It's a felony, it's 2,000 is your bond, and possession of a drug-related object, misdemeanor, 500. 2,500 is your total, ma'am. And your preliminary hearing is August 31st. That is at 8:30. And you do qualify for a court-appointed attorney. I will appoint one to represent you, ma'am. Do you have any questions?
Not that I know. No. Well, I do. So what would I have to pay to get out? The 2,500?
Yes, ma'am, and there'll be fees applied to that. So it'll be more than 2,500. So once you, 2,500 is your total. There'll be a fees, a percentage there, and whatever fees that the bonding company. So check with the bonding company, ma'am. I don't want to tell you a number because I don't know.
Okay.
All right. Any other questions?
No, thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. What's your name?
Ashanti Harris.
All right, Ms. Harris. Good morning to you. You have one count of theft of services, and that is a misdemeanor. Your bond is 2,000, and there's a special condition, ma'am. You can't go back to 6406 Highway 85, Riverdale. And that is the K. Connery Tax Service. You have a preliminary scheduled for August 30th, and that is at 8:30. And Ms. Harris, I am appointing an attorney to represent you. Do you have any questions?
No, sir.
All right, thank you, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. What's your name? Good morning. What's your name, ma'am?
Ada Johnson.
Johnson is your last name? One moment. All right, Ms. Johnson, sorry about that here. Your paperwork slipped away from me. All right, you have a theft of services charge, misdemeanor, 2,000 is your bond. Special condition, you cannot go back to Taps Bar and Grill at 10395 Tower Boulevard, Jonesboro. Ma'am, you understand what you're charged with, the bond and special condition? All right, your preliminary hearing is the 30th of August at 8:30. And I am appointing an attorney to represent you. I just wanted to confirm, is that 645 is the first three of your phone number?
Yes, yes, sir. 470-645-4227.
All right, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I'm just correcting it here, just so that your attorney there can make that number out, because it was unclear to me. I just wanted to make sure I updated for you, okay? All right, ma'am. You have any questions?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you.
You have to talk to the CEO. This is Miss Powell.
All right, Miss Powell, good morning to you, ma'am.
Good morning, sir.
Yes, ma'am. You have 2 counts here, 1 count of kidnapping and 1 count of simple battery. There's a 2,500 on the simple battery. Ma'am, unfortunately today, there's no bond on the kidnapping offense. You have a preliminary hearing scheduled for the 31st of August, and your bond hearing is scheduled for the 3rd of September. Ma'am, you understand what you're charged with and the position on bond?
Yes, sir.
All right, ma'am. I am appointing an attorney to represent you. And do you have any other questions?
No, sir.
All right, thank you, ma'am. Good luck to you. Yes, ma'am. Good morning to you. Is this Miss Thornton?
Yes.
All right, yes, ma'am. You have 1 count of kidnapping, 1 count of simple battery, 2,500 on the kidnapping, ma'am. Unfortunately today, I'm sorry, 2,500 on the battery. Unfortunately today, no bond on the kidnapping. August 31st at 8:30 is your preliminary hearing. September 3rd at 8:30 is your bond hearing. And I am appointing an attorney to represent you. Do you have any questions, Ms. Thornton?
No.
All right, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Sir, that concludes the females.
All right, Deputy Oliver. Thank you. And we'll see you next time.
All right, you have a good day.
You too. All right, so we'll be on standby for the males, Mr. Fry, and we'll see you shortly. Be in recess till then.
originally here for Change Fridays. Or originally got the sustainable. Right. Yeah, I found out Friday. So.
Hey, so you didn't have no knowledge.
Hey, hint to me. I remember that I told you earlier.
All right, Deputy, good morning to you.
Good morning, Judge.
All right, you all ready?
Yes, sir.
Hey, y'all
Let me have everybody stand up.
All right, good morning, everyone. Today is July 13th, 2021, Magistrate Court, Clayton County, Judge Knight here presiding. And we're here for first appearance this morning. I'm here to inform you of your charge or charges, your bond amount if you're entitled to a bond, your next court date, which is your preliminary hearing date, and of course, to appoint an attorney to represent you if you qualify, but most importantly, to inform you of your constitutional rights that stay with you throughout until the disposition or conclusion of your matter. So the first thing I want to let you know is you have the right to the presumption of innocence until the state proves your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. The state is the district attorney for felonies or the solicitor general for misdemeanors. They alone have that burden to prove any charge or charges against you beyond a reasonable doubt. You have no burden in this criminal proceeding against you at trial. You have the right to an indictment by grand jury for some felonies, and you have the right to an accusation for other non-serious felonies and all misdemeanors. The grand jury is made up of citizens of Clayton County, and they meet and decide whether, in fact, there is enough to go forward on your matter. And if they do so, there'll be a true bill of indictment. If they do not, there's a no bill and your matter can be dismissed by the state for an accusation. That again is a charging document, and the district attorney brings that for felonies. The solicitor general brings that for all misdemeanors. You have the right to a speedy and public trial by jury. You have the right to see, hear, and cross-examine any witnesses that the state can call to testify against you. You have the right to subpoena any witnesses on your own behalf to testify in court and to present any evidence if you choose to do so. And most importantly, of course, you have the right to an attorney to represent you in every stage of these proceedings. As far as bond goes, some of you may not get a bond today. That's not because of anything that I personally think, but it has to do with the law and other factors. So this is magistrate court. Magistrate court judges cannot give a bond in certain offenses or for certain offenses, and doesn't mean you'll never get a bond. It simply means that you won't get a bond today. And I apologize, Mr. Fry, you could have stopped me here. I'm sorry. We're moving so fast here. Deputy, I'm sorry. Can you bring Mr. Farrell up so that Mr. Fry doesn't have to sit through me going through this whole spiel, which he knows very well. I apologize on that, Mr. Fry.
That's no problem, Your Honor.
Your screen popped up. I'm like, wait a second. We're supposed to have your client here. All right, Mr. Farrell, raise your right hand, and everyone else. Go ahead, raise your right hand, all of you. I'll just do the oath one time here. Each of you solemnly swear or affirm any statements or testimony you will give in this matter not pending before the court shall be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you. All right, Mr. Farrell, Jakaris Delante Farrell, is that you, sir?
How you doing? That's me.
All right, yes, sir. So I have Mr. Steve Fry here, your attorney. Your mom is here, and I believe another family member is here.
Two other family members. Yes, sir.
All right, two other family members, sir. You're here for first appearance, and you have one count of aggravated battery, one count of cruelty to children in the first degree, and one count of criminal damage in the second degree. I had a bond amount here, but I'll hear from your attorney on bond here, Mr. Fry.
Your Honor, this was I think a girlfriend at the time. I don't believe they're seeing each other now. I think there's some video evidence of this encounter. that we are in the process of putting together. She had sent him some pictures of like an elbow, like what we used to call raspberries. So I don't know necessarily what the basis would be for an aggravated battery. He has no record. His mother lives here in Clayton County. He lives in the local area as well. He's a Mundy's Mill graduate. His mother has lived in her own home for the home she's living in now for 7 years. She has paid me. We're in this for the long haul, and we would ask the court to set him a bond.
Yes, sir. You have an amount in mind?
Your Honor, I think $5,000 a piece on would be acceptable. I think they're prepared to make something all the way up to about $25,000 would max them out.
All right. Well, I had some similar numbers, at least for the misdemeanors. So I'm going to go with 10,000 on the aggravated battery, 5,000 on the cruelty to children in the first, and 2,500 on the criminal damage.
Yes, sir.
All right. So we have 17,005 is your total.
Yes, sir.
All right. Mr. Farrell, you have any questions? You understand what's happening here, sir? There's one more thing. There's no contact with Aleeks Hammett, if I'm saying the name right, Aleks, Aleeks Hammett. Date of birth is August 5th, 2003. So no contact, absolutely. Third party, social media, no contact at all, sir. Failure to comply can result in additional criminal charges.
I will speak directly to him about that.
Yes, sir. And lastly, there is a preliminary hearing is scheduled for August 31st at 8:30.
And I expect we would make bond, Your Honor, and we understand that would waive that matter. Yes,
sir. Make bond, that's waived. And that will conclude this matter unless there's any questions from you, Mr. Farrell, or anything additional, Mr. Fry.
None, Your Honor. We would ask to be excused.
Thank you, sir. Good to see you. Good luck.
Yes, sir.
To you,
Always
Farrell.
good to see you.
Thank you, sir. All right. All right, that will conclude your matter there, Mr. Farrell. Thank you.
Demetrius Blake?
All right, let me go ahead and finish the rights for everyone. Let me finish them up. I just took him out of turn because he had his attorney. I had told his attorney before you all came on that I was gonna let him go first. I didn't realize it until I saw his screen move. So we're back. So everyone else here, I left off telling you what your constitutional rights are that apply to you. And the next thing I want to let you know about is bond. And so with bond, there is nothing personal against you if you don't get a bond today. It's just that by law, I can't give you a bond for certain offenses, as well as if you are on parole or probation, or there's some other thing in there like being a flight risk or something else in your criminal history that prohibits me from giving you a bond. So that's what it is. In terms of bond, as far as a bond amount, you have to speak with someone at the bonding company of your choice, and the bonding company will go ahead and let you know what the percentage would be for any fees associated with your bond. It can be anywhere from up to 15%. So I don't know the exact number. So go ahead and check with the bonding company. Also, if there's a special condition of bond, like you all just heard that I mentioned to the gentleman there, Mr. Farrell, if there's a special condition, you can't go to a location, like don't go to 123 Main Street. That means you can't go. Or don't contact Joe Smith. You can't contact Joe Smith. If you do so, then that could amount in additional criminal charges like influencing a witness, aggravated stalking, or other offenses. So you don't want to violate special condition of bond. Please keep that in mind. Also, to let you know that if the person who I say you can't contact is the subject of the special condition and they wish to post your bond, they cannot. A person who is the subject of a special condition of bond can't post your bond for you. So keep that in mind as well. And your bond hearing date, if you're charged with a felony and you don't have a bond, that's September 3rd. Doesn't mean that you just have to stay in jail until September 3rd. It means that your attorney can speak with the district attorney and you can potentially get a bond before September 3rd if there's a no bond situation. If you're charged with a felony, your preliminary hearing date is August 31st. If you're charged with a misdemeanor, it's August 30th. Both of those days, the times are 8:30. So let me let you know your preliminary hearing is your next court date. It's also called a prelim or probable cause hearing. Probable cause is the articulable reason for the arrest. That means that the officer or officers have to say out loud in court, why did they arrest you? If it's invalid, your case is dismissed. If it's a valid arrest, then your case can be bound over to Superior Court if it's a felony, state court if it's a misdemeanor. So that's your next court date. If you bond out of jail, that court date is automatically waived, automatic waiver. If you wish to still have that preliminary hearing, you can speak with your lawyer. Now, if you bond out of jail or if you waive your preliminary hearing, doesn't mean you're admitting any guilt. That presumption of innocence stays with you. No one can take that away from you. So it stays with you, and the state still has to prove any matters against you beyond a reasonable doubt. So at a jury trial. So that's what is happening with your preliminary hearing, which is your next court date. Again, if you bond out of jail, it's waived. If you remain in jail, you can also waive it, and you can also have it. Either way, you have that right throughout. So what I'll do is I'll call you up individually, and I will ask you or tell you what you're charged with and your bond amount if you're entitled to a bond, and your next court date, and appoint an attorney to represent you based on the applications for court-appointed counsel that you completed. And then I'll ask you if you have any questions. I'm not your lawyer, and I can't give you legal advice. I can only answer questions related to those 4 things that I mentioned. All right, so Deputy, I'm ready. And for everybody to be ready, so we could just keep it going. We'll do alphabetical. All right, he's frozen. What's happening? All right, we're frozen here. All right, Deputy, can you hear me? There we go. There we go. All right, you were frozen for a moment there.
Yes, Judge. As I was saying earlier, I'm going to ask you if you could go with Mr. Jules Spain first, because we have a situation going on with him. Also, there were 2 people that were removed from the calendar because of disruption. Mr. Devante Thomas and Tanili, Mr. T. Thomas and Mr. J. Thomas, they were removed from the calendar, Judge.
All right, start back for me. Who's the person we're doing first?
Mr. Joel Spain.
What's the last name? Spain? Okay, Joel Spain. Okay, all right. And then you said Giovanni Thomas removed.
And Tanialo Thomas.
And Allen. Okay. All right, sir.
Okay.
That's fine. Yeah, I'm ready for them. I'm ready for Spain. And I'll remove Mr. Thomas and Mr. Allen.
So, just for a correction, Your Honor, in reference to the 2 Thomases, if you could just continue them on to tomorrow.
Both of the Thomases?
Yes, sir.
Okay, yes, sir.
Thank you.
All right, is this Mr. Spain?
Yes, sir, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Spain, you have 1 count of burglary. Today, sir, there is no bond on that offense. You have a preliminary hearing is scheduled for the 31st of August. That is at 8:30. And you have a bond hearing, and that is set for September 3rd, also at 8:30, sir. And I am appointing an attorney to represent you, sir. What is your monthly income?
About 2,500.
All right, sir, I'm appointing an attorney to represent you. All right, you have any questions?
No.
Okay.
Dismiss you. I don't have any
All right,
questions.
thank you, sir.
All right, you go.
Demetrius Blake?
All right, Mr. Blake. Sir, you have one count of false imprisonment, one count of kidnapping, sir. There's no bond on either one of those offenses. Battery and criminal trespass is 2,500 on each of those. Preliminary hearing, August 31st, 8:30. Bond hearing, September 3rd, 8:30. Sir, you have any questions?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So there's no bond at all, basically, on those first two that you said, correct?
That's correct, sir. No bond on those two offenses. Not today.
Not today, okay. And you said, but I could bond out before then, the bond hearing, correct?
Well, I said you have a bond on two other offenses, but you can't bond out because you don't have bond on the other two. So you have to get a bond on those two. So that will be for another judge on a different day to set a bond for you on those other two offenses.
Okay, and what was that date? That was the 31st, you said?
August 31st is your preliminary hearing, and then September 3rd is your bond hearing.
Okay.
All right, sir? If you
And,
speak with your lawyer, you can talk to your lawyer about possibly getting a bond before that date.
okay, would you be able to appoint me?
Say it one more time.
Would you be able to appoint me a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
All right, sir. Thank you.
Mr. Nicholas Brown?
Yes, sir, Mr. Brown. I'm good. Good morning to you. All right, let's see here, sir. One count of violation of the Georgia Controlled Substances Act, possession of our THC, and one count of possession of firearm during the commission of a crime. Each of those are felonies, and your bond amount is $2,000 on each of those. And then you have a misdemeanor brake light. Defective brake light is $500. So it's $4,500 is your total, sir. And you have a preliminary hearing. It's August 31st, 8:30. And looking at your application here for court-appointed counsel, sir, I am appointing an attorney to represent you. You have any questions, Mr. Brown?
I'll be able to have my parents bond me out.
Yes, sir. Anyone can bond you out.
Are you still doing signature bonds?
No, sir, not today.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Michael Dodson?
Yes, sir. Mr. Dotson? Yes, sir. One count of unauthorized use of financial transaction card. It's a felony. $5,000 is your bond on that offense, sir. Preliminary hearing scheduled for August 31st, 8:30.
Sir.
And lastly, sir, you have, well, I am appointing an attorney to represent you, sir. You have any questions?
Yes, sir, I did. Is this a new charge? I got charged Tuesday. I came in front of you Tuesday morning. Now I got came in for the same charge again today.
Mr. Dotson, this is Unauthorized use of financial transaction card. This one was from December 5th, 2020. December 5th, 2020. At Walmart in Riverdale.
Huh? What was the one Tuesday? I don't understand. I'm confused. I'm just making sure I'm not getting charged twice.
Sir, I don't know the details of the one from Tuesday because that one is not in front of me. But you'll get this, and you should be able to see what the difference is. Do you remember the charge from Tuesday, sir? You remember what it was?
Same exact charge, sir.
It's the same charge.
Yes, sir.
So, but I guess was it from the same date though? I don't know, and that's what we need to find out.
Yes, sir.
So what would happen is, and I don't know why you would be on, you were on last Tuesday and now again for the same charge. So it may be different charges, but if for whatever reason it's the same, sir, then that will be corrected and it would just be the one offense.
Okay, my question is about the bond. So now two $5,000 bonds or one $5,000 bond?
Well, that's the question I don't have the answer to right now because I don't know. I don't know if it's two separate charges or not.
Yes, sir.
Or two separate dates and two separate warrants, right? That I don't have in front of me. I just have this one. So what I'm saying is once you speak with your lawyer, the lawyer didn't come yet from last week?
No, sir. No, I got Tuesday. It was Tuesday, the 5th. I saw you missed the 5th of last week.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like the lawyer didn't come from last Tuesday to now?
No, sir, I spoke to anyone. But I talked to the investigator, the scene. He came and saw me from Riverdale.
Well, once you speak to your lawyer can sort out and make sure whether it's one or two.
Okay.
All right, so make sure that you have that conversation with your attorney.
I just wait on the attorney to come see me. Is that what I'm doing?
That attorney should be coming to see you. I'm surprised they haven't come there yet. I have no control over that part, but they should be coming to see you very soon, sir.
Okay, thanks, sir. Have a good day.
All right, you too. Thank you.
Jay Freeling.
Yes, sir. Is this Mr. Freeling?
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Freeling, sir, you're charged with one count of criminal trespass. It's a misdemeanor. Special, it's $2,500 is your bond. Special condition, sir, you can't go back to the 661 Sherwood Drive, Jonesboro address. Also, I am appointing an attorney to represent you. You have any questions, sir? Thank you, sir.
Mr. Juarez.
Stand by one moment for me, please. All right, thank you. All right, let's see, Mr. Juarez. Sir, you have one count of forgery in the 3rd degree, and your bond is $5,000, and your preliminary hearing is scheduled for the 30th of August at 8:30, and I am appointing an attorney to represent you. Do you have any questions here, sir?
I'm here for 6 months already, sir.
Can you say that one more time?
I'm here for 6 months already.
You've been there for 6 months?
Yeah.
I don't know anything about that, sir. And I'm just double checking here. I actually don't have your warrant. I thought for whatever reason you may have bonded out. I don't have your actual warrant.
But they said they missing my warrant number. I don't know.
All right. So what I'm gonna have to continue to tomorrow, sir, because I don't have your warrant. I just have the bond amount on the bond order.
So, but I gotta another court in 2 more days.
Say it one more time.
Like 2 more days.
You have court when?
2 more days.
2 more days?
Yeah, I got this, Tony visit today.
All right, sir. Well, I'm gonna continue your matter because I don't have your warrant. I'm looking at it. I have the bond order, but no warrant.
So, what about the court in 2 more days?
I'm not here for that, sir. I don't know anything about it.
All right.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Mr. McNeil?
No, for me, one moment here, sir. All right, let's see here. This is Mr. What's your name, sir? McNeil. All right, sir. Hang on for me here. All right, Mr. McNeil, you are charged with 1 count of possession of less than an ounce of marijuana. That is a misdemeanor. 1,500 is your bond. Violation of the Georgia Controlled Substances Act. THC oil, 2,000, and giving a false name, date of birth, or address, 1,000. Sir, your total bond here is 3,500. Preliminary hearing scheduled for August 31st, 8:30.
Judge, I have one question.
All right, before you do, one more thing to tell you about your court-appointed counsel here. Did you complete one of those forms?
I didn't, I'm processed.
You said you did, or you did not?
Did not say I'm processed, I don't want to.
You're pro se. All right, what's your question? Wait a second. You have NA on here, so yeah, pro se. I'm gonna note that on your form. All right, Mr. McNeil, what's your question, sir?
Is this bond available today?
Yes, sir. I'm signing off on it, so it should be available to you today, sir, once the jail gets your paperwork.
And also, do you have a copy of the warrant for my arrest? Because I wasn't given any paperwork for my arrest.
Oh, yes, sir. I have that copy of the warrant directly here in front of me. That's what I got this morning, and I have it, and you should be able to get that as well, sir.
That's all, Judge. Thank you.
All right. You have any other questions?
Nothing else.
Okay. All right. Thank you, sir.
So nicely.
Morning, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Nicely, good morning to you, sir. Stand by for me 1 moment. All right, Mr. Nicely, thanks for your patience there, sir. You have 1 count of carrying a weapon at an international location, and that's the airport. Your bond is 3,000. Preliminary hearing is the 30th of August, 8:30. And I am appointing an attorney to represent you, sir. You have any questions?
What is the severity of this offense?
What is the what?
Is it a misdemeanor or felony?
Oh, it's a misdemeanor, sir. Misdemeanor. All right. Any other questions?
Thank you.
All right.
Parks?
All right, Mr. Parks. Sir, you're charged with 1 count. Criminal damage to property. That is a misdemeanor. Your bond is 2,500, and then you're charged with 1 count of theft by taking, and that is also a misdemeanor. and your bond on that offense is also $2,500. You have a special condition. You can't have contact with Heaven Fudge. I'm sorry, let me back up. $2,500 on a criminal trespass and $2,000 on the theft by taking, so $4,500. No contact with Heaven Fudge. Preliminary hearing, August 30th, 8:30. Lastly, sir, are you employed? Not at this time. All right, sir, I am appointing an attorney to represent you. You have any questions? All right, thank you, sir. You understand the special condition?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you, sir.
Ready?
All right, I'm sorry, what's your name?
Roddy, R-O-D-D-Y.
Okay, Mr. Roddy. All right, yes, sir. You're charged with one count of possession of drugs by an inmate and one count of use of a communication device without consent of the warden. It's $5,000 on each of those, sir. The total bond is $10,000. Preliminary hearing is scheduled for August 31st, 8:30. And Mr. Roddy, I am appointing an attorney to represent you. All right, sir, you have any questions? Okay, all right, thank you.
Regis?
Who's this? What's your last name? What's your last name, sir?
Regis. R-E-G-I-S.
Okay. All right, Mr. Regis. You're charged with one count of aggravated assault. Today, there's no bond on that offense, sir. You have a preliminary hearing is scheduled for the 31st of August. That is at 8:30. And lastly, Mr. Regis. Did you complete the application for court-appointed counsel, sir?
No, I got my own attorney.
Got your own lawyer. All right. So I will note on here, you will hire your own attorney. Do you have a name for that lawyer yet, sir?
Yeah, Thomas Florio.
Thomas Florio?
Yeah.
All right, sir. You have any questions?
No, not really.
All right, thank you, sir.
Mr. Sarmiento?
All right, Mr. Sarmiento. One count of possession of marijuana is less than an ounce, is $1,500. August 30th, 8:30 is your preliminary hearing. And sir, I am appointing an attorney to represent you. You have any questions?
My bond will be ready for the day.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you, sir.
Mr. Scott?
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Good afternoon, sir. One moment here for me. And your name is Mr. George Scott?
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Scott, you're charged with, they're all misdemeanors. Fleeing from police officer and speeding, each of those is $2,000. Improper or erratic lane change and reckless driving, that's $1,000 each. So you're now up to $6,000. And improper turn signals, $500. $6,500, okay?
Yes, sir.
And you have a preliminary hearing and it's scheduled for August 30th, 8:30. And hang on for me one moment here, Mr. Scott. Your application for court-appointed counsel, sir. I am appointing an attorney to represent you. You have any questions, sir?
Oh, yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Mr. Tucker?
Yes, sir, Mr. Tucker.
How you doing?
I'm good, sir. You have two misdemeanors. One of them is violation of seatbelt laws, 500 is your bond, and then driving while license suspended, 1,500. You have a 2,000 total. August 30th, 8:30. That's your preliminary hearing. And I am appointing an attorney to represent you, sir. You have any questions?
I had the bond, right?
Say that one more time.
I had the bond already.
Oh yeah, you already, yeah, it was preset. Yes, yes, sir.
Okay. So you don't know if it was paid out, 'cause I had it paid.
Oh yeah, no, that part I don't know. You double check with the deputies, they may be able to tell you, sir.
All right.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Mr. Wilson?
All right, Mr. Wilson.
How you doing?
Sir, I'm good, sir. Let's see here, sir. You're charged with one count of reckless conduct. It's a misdemeanor. Let me ask you this, sir. Well, I said your bond is 1,000, okay?
I had a question. I want to know if.
Let me ask you this. You understand what you're charged with in your bond amount?
Yeah, yes, I understand what you're talking about.
Your preliminary hearing is scheduled for the 30th of August at 8:30. And I am appointing an attorney to represent you. All right, sir, go ahead with your questions.
I just want to know, what did I do? Because I did not know nothing about what was going on. And from what I'm hearing from different officers or different people pulling it up, is that my son's mother called about my son, but I gave him back. The police came to my house and they didn't say nothing about a warrant or anything they put out, so I didn't know anything about it. I would have handled this prior to this and not just let it sit.
Sorry about that. My son just came on screen here. Go ahead.
All right, so like I was saying, on June 6th, they said, July 6th, I mean, they're saying that my son's mother called the police about something with my son. I don't even know what it was about.
Well, let me stop you, sir, because I don't want you to go too far into it because this is being streamed live on YouTube. Okay. And I initially wanted to ask you a question because I wanted to ask you, but since you're already telling me, do you have like a visitation order or something in place?
The whole situation there, that's what I'm going through now. The COVID.
All right. Well, let me do this, sir. Just stop telling me, right? Stop telling me, okay? I understand the situation, okay?
I got you. We'll leave it at that and I'll let it go.
Just wait a second for me, sir. Okay. I'm gonna lower your bond to 500, okay? And, make sure you go ahead and get that situation taken care of. I don't have all the details. Initially, I was going to dismiss it, okay? But the lowest I can go is 500, all right?
Well, I appreciate it.
No problem, sir. Well, good luck to you, all right? And speak with your lawyer and see if you can get this resolved.
Thank you so much.
All right, you're welcome.
What?
All right, one moment here for me. One moment. All right, is this Mr. Welch? All right, Mr. Welch. All right, good morning to you here, sir. You have 2 counts of aggravated stalking. Sir, unfortunately, I can't give you a bond today on those offenses. So there's no bond. Your preliminary hearing is August 31st at 8:30. Bond hearing is September 9th, 8:30. And sir, did you complete an application for court-appointed counsel?
Yeah, I did. I was just recently here. I haven't spoken to them yet either. I haven't even got my last court date yet. But, the other reason I was here now because I found out Friday my wife was cheating on me, and the guy's been living there for over 2 months at my home. So I'm kind of lost for words of what to do now. But she's only put me in here now, so she keep it all in the dark. Okay, that's all this is. This isn't nothing for her safety. It's just to hide her situation.
Well, sir, that's what you got to talk to your lawyer about. Unfortunately, I can't do anything about that today.
I was hoping to get a court date for the last one, but it never came in the mail. So I just got to sit here and wait. And I run business and everything. It's all comes to a halt because she lied. So,
well, you got to speak with your lawyer. When you speak with your lawyer could possibly get you a bond. But as of today, you can't get a bond. But your lawyer can get you a bond before
the lawyer until
September 3rd, possibly.
I got the first court date here, so I couldn't even speak to a lawyer about it.
Well, that's what I'm trying to tell you, sir. You need to speak with your attorney because I can't give you a bond today, sir.
Yeah, I understand.
All right. You have any other questions?
You said my date to get a bond would be
September 3rd. But once you speak with your lawyer, they possibly can get you one sooner, okay?
Understand.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Okay, Your Honor, I'll just split my thing here for Mr. White.
Mr. White.
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. White. Sir, you have 3 counts. Simple assault, criminal trespass, and terroristic threats. It's $2,500 on each of those. All right, $7,500 is your total bond. Special conditions, no contact with Monica White and Rosalind White. Preliminary hearing is August 30th, 8:30. And lastly, sir, I am appointing an attorney to represent you. You have any questions? Can you hear me?
He said no, Your Honor.
No questions. All right, thank you. Thank you, sir. All right, thank you, Mr. White. All right, deputies, that's it, right?
Yes, Judge.
All right, so tomorrow we got Thomas, the 2 Thomases.
Yes, sir.
Continued, right? All right, perfect. All right, and appreciate it. Thank you very much, Deputy. And Ms. Bernie, I'll shoot you an email. I saw your message here on the gentleman who is on for tomorrow. I believe it's Mr. I can't think of his name. I'll look for it and send you an email. All right. Thank you very much. You all have a good rest of the day and week.
Thank you, Judge.